So now that we have everything we need installed for this course, let's do something fun with it and make sure that it all works. So if you go back to the course setup page here at sundog-education.com/self-driving, you'll see what to do next under the Try It Out section. And you can follow along there or follow along in this video. Go back to your Anaconda prompt, which hopefully is still open. And we're going to cd into the directory that we installed the course materials into. And again, for me, that's going to be cd c:\self-driving materials is where I put that. And from here, we're going to launch a Jupyter notebook. This is, you'll see what that is in a second. Just type in Jupyter. It's spelled kind of funny, Jupyter, notebook. And what's going to happen is that's going to kick off a Python environment and launch this in our web browser. So here we should see a list of all the sections of the course. And let's go ahead and click into section 4. And we'll take a really fun one. That's lecture 4.14. And if you have a webcam, you can actually follow along with this and do some fun stuff. So if everything has been installed properly, this should all just work. Let's talk about a little bit what's going on here in Jupyter. So a little bit of a walkthrough here. This is what we call a Jupyter notebook. It used to be called an IPython notebook back in the day, same thing. And it lets us execute Python code within this notebook format. The idea is that we can mix and match different blocks of stuff in this same web page here. We can have, formatted text here, for example, that has nicely formatted text and comments or whatever we want to do. And we can also intersperse in blocks of Python code here that we can actually run right within this browser. There's a few ways of doing that. If you just click within one of these cells, the easiest thing to do is to just hit Shift-Enter, and that will actually execute that block. So what I just did there was actually import all of the libraries that we need to run this notebook with, including OpenCV. That's what CV2 means, that we just installed in the previous lecture. Now you could also do it by clicking on there and hitting the Run button up here. That would work as well. And it's also important to realize that this is all running within a single Python environment. So when I run a block of code, all the state from that block is maintained, all the memory is maintained, the variables are maintained from block to block. So it's important that you run things in the right order, and you only run things the amount of times that it was intended to be run. So it's a very easy way to get confused if you run things out of order or run things too many times. If things get into a bad state, though, it's really easy to recover. Just head up to the kernel menu here, and you can say restart, and that will give you a fresh environment to run within. So when all else fails, just say kernel restart, or restart and clear output, even better. And that way you can start over. So we already ran this first block. Let's go ahead and go to the second block here. And we'll get into what this all does later on in the course, but what we're going to do is set up an edge detection algorithm so we can actually see some cool stuff using the webcam attached to your computer. So let's run that as well. I'm just hitting Shift-Enter again. And I can just keep on going down, hitting Shift-Enter all the way to execute all of these blocks. And finally, when we get to this last block, this is where fun things happen. So hopefully this will work. What this is going to do is set up a video capture window using OpenCV. So if you have a webcam, it will show you a live image of whatever is happening in your office right now. And we'll actually apply the canny edge detection algorithm to that image live. So we're going to have two windows here. One is going to be with live edge detection shown, and the other one is the actual raw video coming in from your webcam. And it will wait until you hit the return key, which is ASCII code 13 for the enter key. And once it senses that you hit the enter key, it will shut down and continue onward and release everything and clean everything up. So let's go ahead and click in that block and hit Shift-Enter to kick that off. And it might not have popped to the foreground, but if you go down to your taskbar here, you should see a couple of windows here. Hey, there they are. So let's look at my live video here. Hi, everyone. And we can also look at the edge detection result here at the same time. How cool is that? That's kind of spooky. So this is what we have to look forward to later on in the course. Not too far down, actually. Just in section 4, we'll be doing this stuff. So it's pretty fun stuff. And you can see how this algorithm is detecting all the edges in my image automatically. It has this sort of cartoony outline of everything. And this is useful for things like detecting lane markings in roads from a self-driving car. So it's not just fun to look at, it has very useful and practical applications as well. So there you have it, a little bit of a quick win for you. We're already doing edge detection live from your webcam stream. Hi everyone. I could just stare at this for like minutes just for the fun of it. Hope you can too. That's a preview of things to come, and hopefully if you got to this point, everything is set up and running properly. If not, go back, double check the setup steps, but as long as you have a webcam properly installed, you should be seeing this right now, except with your face instead of mine. And like I said, when you're done, just click on one of these windows and hit the Enter key. That will stop it all. And if you want to get out of all this stuff, you can just close out of this window. And to actually quit Jupyter itself, hit the quit button from the main page here. You can now close that window as well. And you should see that your Anaconda prompt back here should get you back to a command prompt. If it seems stuck though, just hit Control-C to make it force an exit, and you'll be back to your prompt here, and you can also close this window as well if you want to. So that's pretty fun stuff, and we're going to be learning that really soon, so keep on going and we'll start learning about computer vision.